My name is Dave Johnson, and I'm the liaison librarian associated with psychology. And today I'm just going to talk to you a bit about research tools for psychology, and in particular, I'm going to talk about how to use the PsycINFO database to find journal articles, because it's one of the most important databases that you're going to use for your subject area. So the question I'm going to talk about today as a sample research topic is there a relationship between video games and violent behavior? So this might not be something that you ever work on, but it is something that you hear talked about a lot, and we might be interested in knowing what does the research literature actually say about this topic. So before I start searching, there are a few questions that you should probably ask and that I should ask myself. So one is, how can I describe my topic effectively? Because the more thorough I am at this stage, the better my search results are going to be, because I'll have more ways to describe my topic. And sometimes you'll be using a database or just using the website or Google or something like that, and you'll sort of run into a stumbling block where it seems like, I can't find anything. And a lot of the times that just has to do with the fact that you don't quite have the right words or the right concepts to describe what you're looking for, and that once you have them, it becomes much easier, and suddenly you'll find, oh, here's all the stuff I was looking for all along. So it's the same thing here, right? So we want to be as exhaustive as we can when we're thinking about it. So we can say things like video games, and I've got the quotation marks because that's a phrase search. If I put that in, it's going to first force those two words to be found side by side in the documents I'm looking at. I could get more specific and say computer games or console games or a specific genre like a first-person shooter or an MMO. I can talk about violence or aggression or specifically gun violence, teens, male teenagers, a specific geographic region. So these are all different things that you can sort of brainstorm and think about when you sit down to search. There's a lot of other additional questions you can ask yourself too. How current do you want the research to be? So do you only want to look at stuff in the last couple of years, or are you happy going back further? Are there specific authors or journals you're looking at? Is there a specific type of study that you want to look at? And then, of course, population groups. Again, human, non-human, males, females, teens, adults, children, seniors. These are all things that you want to sort of consider. Okay, so I'm going to pop over now to PsycINFO and show you how to get there if you have not used it before. So this is the Leddy Library's homepage, and it's basically the portal for all our resources. And what you want to click on is either Research Tools or Find Journal Articles and Research Tools. And either one of these is going to take you to a listing of databases by subject area. So obviously in this case I want to look at psychology. And you can see that PsycINFO is the first link. And in fact, it's sort of part of a family of different databases, right? So PsycINFO and PsycArticles, your primary journal articles that you're looking at there. PsycCritique for reviews, and PsycTherapy is an interesting resource because it contains a lot of videos about therapy demonstrations, which is worth looking at, but probably not for this research topic. So I'm going to click PsycINFO, and you'll notice that I can actually add those other databases here if I want to look at them as well. So I'm just going to throw in PsycCritique and PsycArticles as well. So I'll be searching all three of those at once. And I'm going to go to Advanced Search and show you what we have here. So we've got different fields to put those keywords or concepts that we're talking about in. So video games, violent behavior. So let's just toss that in for now. And so the asterisk I'm using in this case is going to force the search engine to look for all legitimate completions of that root word. So violent, violence, etc. I can also add additional rows if I need them by clicking Add a Row. And I can change this to an or a not. So as it stands, because it's an and, I'm looking for documents that talk about both video games and violence. So it's going to narrow my search a bit for me. Here's where I can actually add some further restrictions. So for example, I might want to look at a specific age group. So video games and violence, maybe I want to look at adolescents primarily, so 13 to 17. I can also say, well, what is the population group? So maybe I just want to look at males. But you'll notice that there are other things here that we're not selecting now. For example, what's the research methodology, and so on and so forth. So this is where those can be selected for. I can say I only want peer-reviewed journal articles, and I'm going to leave this for all years for now, just to do a bit of a broader search. So this is already a fairly broad search. I've left it fairly general and I haven't gotten specific, and I just want to kind of see what's out there. So I'm going to click Search, and I've nailed 53 results. Okay. You'll notice along the left-hand side there are further ways that you can narrow things down. So by author, affiliation, index term. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on just stuff that's published in 2012. So we've got 11 publications for 2012. So let's see what's out there. So if you see something that is interesting to you, so for example, this article looks interesting, right? Casual Spurious, using propensity score matching to detangle the relationship between video games and violent behavior. So if I click on the link, it'll give me more information. So the abstract is there if I want to look at that. And then it gives me a lot of other information about the article that you don't necessarily need to look at, but it can be helpful, particularly the keywords that are used to describe it. Because that might give you some more ideas for further searching, and also the index terms for the same reason. And if I were to click on one of these index terms, it's going to give me all the articles that have been categorized by that, or tagged essentially by that term. So computer games will give me everything related to that. Now, if I'm happy with this and I want to get the article, I'm just looking for the Get It button. So you click that, and it's going to give me a couple different options about where I can find it. So it says it's in Scholars Portal. It's always worth noting what the year, volume, and issue are, just in case it doesn't take you directly to the article, but this one should. So I'm going to click on Scholars Portal, and it's going to take me to that article. And I can just click the PDF here, and when I do, it's going to download the article for me, open it up in Adobe or whatever you have for a reader, and then you can save it, email it to yourself, put it on a flash drive, whatever it is that you want to do to store that article. So that's basically it. One other thing actually to show you quickly. When you're here, if you want, you can also look at the references for this article. So since this is sort of directly on the topic you're looking at, the articles that this article cites may be worth following up on as well. And you can do that by sort of taking a look and see what's here. You can follow the links, or you can even take search in these specific journals back in the PsycINFO database if you want to as well. So those are some different things that you can do to find additional articles on this topic. This has been a quick demonstration of PsycINFO, and of course, if you have any questions, again, my name is Dave Johnson, and you can find my info on the library website. So please feel free to drop me a line or give me a call if you ever want to talk about this stuff. All right, thanks so much.